Your life will never rise above the level of your personal growth. And if you are not committed to improving yourself every single day, you will stagnate. And stagnation is the breeding ground of mediocrity. Many people live their lives as if they are passengers on a ship, letting the currents of society, peer pressure, and circumstance dictate where they will end up. But the truth is, your life is not meant to be lived passively. It is meant to be lived intentionally. And the journey of improvement begins with a choice, a conscious decision to invest in yourself. Improving yourself is not a matter of waiting for opportunities to come. It is about creating the conditions within you that attract opportunities, favor, and success. You must understand that the world does not reward mediocrity. It does not recognize potential that is left untapped, and it does not honor talent that is never refined. The first step toward improving yourself is the realization that your current reality is a reflection of your current efforts. If you are unsatisfied with where you are, then the power to change it resides within you. Growth begins with self-awareness, and self-awareness requires brutal honesty. You must be willing to look into the mirror of your life and see yourself as you truly are, not as you wish to be seen. This means recognizing your weaknesses, acknowledging your mistakes, and identifying the habits that have kept you trapped in cycles of disappointment and unfulfilled dreams. Many people fear this process because truth exposes the gaps between who they are and who they could be. But without this honest evaluation, improvement is impossible. Once you understand your starting point, the next step is to set clear and measurable goals for yourself. A goal without a plan is merely a wish. And improvement requires action. You must define what better looks like for you, and you must articulate it in specific terms. It is not enough to say, I want to be better. You must declare, I will develop this skill, I will overcome this limitation, and I will become this version of myself. Your goals must challenge you, because comfort is the enemy of progress. True improvement comes when you step outside the familiar and push yourself into the realm of discomfort where growth occurs. But goal setting alone is not sufficient. You must also cultivate the right mindset. Your mind is the battlefield upon which your potential will be won or lost. If your mind is filled with doubt, fear, or negativity, you will sabotage your own efforts without even realizing it. You must train your mind to focus on possibility rather than limitation, to see challenges as opportunities rather than obstacles, and to persist when the world tells you to quit. Mindset is not something you are born with. It is something you develop through discipline, reflection, and consistent practice. One of the most powerful tools for improving yourself is knowledge. Knowledge equips you with understanding, insight, and strategies that allow you to navigate life more effectively. But knowledge alone is not enough. It must be applied. Reading, studying, attending seminars, listening to mentors, and seeking wisdom from those who have walked the path before you are all essential elements of personal development. Yet many people gather knowledge and fail to implement it. Improvement requires action, not accumulation. You must take what you learn and put it into practice, consistently refining your approach until your life reflects the principles you have internalized. Discipline is the bridge between potential and achievement. Without discipline, even the most talented, knowledgeable, or visionary person will falter. Discipline is not about restriction or punishment. It is about creating the habits and structures that enable you to grow, to stay on course, and to execute your plans with excellence. Consistency, daily effort, and a refusal to yield to excuses will determine the speed and depth of your improvement. Another critical aspect of self-improvement is the company you keep. Your environment and the people around you will either elevate you or pull you down. Surround yourself with those who inspire you, challenge you, and hold you accountable. Distance yourself from negative influences, toxic relationships, and those who thrive on mediocrity or discouragement. Improvement is contagious, and when you align yourself with growth-minded individuals, your own development accelerates. Equally important is understanding the role of failure in your journey. Many people fear failure, but failure is not the enemy. It is a teacher. Every failure, mistake, or setback contains within it the lessons necessary to refine your approach, strengthen your character, and clarify your purpose. Do not waste your failures by ignoring their message or letting them define your identity. Instead, embrace them, learn from them, and let them propel you forward with greater wisdom and resilience. Self-improvement also demands that you prioritize your health, physically, mentally, and spiritually. A weak body, a distracted mind, or a neglected spirit will limit your capacity to perform at your highest potential. Exercise, nutrition, rest, prayer, meditation, reflection, and emotional self-care are not luxuries. They are essential investments in the vessel through which your growth is expressed. If your foundation is unstable, no amount of knowledge or effort will yield sustainable improvement. Now, as you pursue improvement, you must recognize that time is your most precious resource. How you invest your time will determine the trajectory of your life. Every hour, every day, and every decision is an opportunity to build yourself, refine your skills, and move closer to your potential. Avoid distractions, procrastination, and activities that consume your energy without yielding growth. Be intentional with your time, for once it is spent, it can never be recovered. Improvement is also about humility, the willingness to admit you do not know everything and to be teachable. Pride is the enemy of growth because it blinds you to your weaknesses and prevents you from seeking help. Humility allows you to learn from others, accept constructive criticism, and embrace guidance from those who have achieved what you aspire to achieve. Remember, your journey is not a competition with others, but a race against yourself. Improvement is a personal pursuit, and your focus must remain on becoming a better version of who you were yesterday, not on outdoing someone else. Another critical principle is perseverance. Change does not occur overnight, and growth is rarely linear. There will be moments of frustration, fatigue, and doubt, but these are the tests of your commitment. Those who endure, who keep moving forward despite adversity, will ultimately rise above mediocrity and achieve transformation. You must cultivate resilience and a refusal to quit. For improvement is a marathon, not a sprint. It is also essential to measure your progress, reflect on your growth, track your achievements, and celebrate milestones. Measurement provides feedback, motivation, and clarity, allowing you to adjust your approach as needed. Without evaluation, you may continue to exert effort in areas that yield minimal return while neglecting strategies that could accelerate your improvement. Improvement requires vision. You must see beyond your current circumstances and imagine the life you are capable of living. Vision provides direction, fuels motivation, and anchors your efforts when challenges arise. Without a clear vision, your actions lack purpose and growth becomes aimless. Your vision must be compelling enough to inspire sacrifice, commitment, and relentless pursuit. In this process, you must also learn to manage your emotions. Emotional intelligence, the ability to understand, control, and channel your emotions, is a key factor in personal development. Anger, fear, envy, and frustration can derail your progress if left unchecked, while patience, gratitude, optimism, and self-control amplify your capacity to learn, adapt, and succeed. Self-improvement demands that you break free from limiting patterns that have held you back. Habits, routines, and beliefs that no longer serve your growth must be identified and replaced with those that propel you forward. Change is never easy because it challenges comfort and familiarity, but it is necessary for transformation. You must be intentional in forming new habits that align with your goals and consistently reinforce them until they become second nature. Furthermore, self-improvement is not a solitary endeavor. Seek mentors, advisors, and coaches who can guide you, hold you accountable, and provide insight. No one achieves their potential in isolation. The wisdom, experience, and perspective of others are invaluable in accelerating your growth and avoiding common pitfalls. Serving others is also a crucial aspect of personal development. Growth is not solely measured by personal gain. It is reflected in the positive impact you have on the lives of others. When you invest in yourself, do not hoard your knowledge, skills, or resources. Share them generously, mentor others, and contribute to the betterment of your community. True improvement produces fruit that benefits not only you, but also those around you. In addition, developing a strong sense of purpose is essential. Purpose provides direction, meaning, and motivation. It transforms the mundane into the significant and fuels the persistence needed to overcome obstacles. Without purpose, improvement can become shallow, mechanical, and unfulfilling. Understanding your purpose aligns your efforts with your destiny and maximizes the impact of your growth. The journey of self-improvement also requires patience. Transformation does not happen instantly, and results often take time to manifest. You must trust the process, remain consistent, and resist the temptation to compare your progress with others. Patience is not passive, it is an active engagement in disciplined effort. Trusting that your investment in yourself will yield the harvest intended. Lastly, improvement requires faith. Faith in your potential, faith in the process, and faith in the promise of a future better than your past. Doubt will erode progress, but faith will sustain you through uncertainty, setbacks, and challenges. Faith allows you to take bold steps, embrace change, and believe that the effort you invest today will transform your tomorrow. Your commitment to improving yourself is the single most important decision you will make, because it determines every outcome in your life. Do not allow fear, complacency, or external circumstances to dictate the limits of your potential. Rise above excuses, reject mediocrity, and dedicate yourself to a life of constant growth. Invest in your mind, strengthen your body, cultivate your spirit, refine your skills, expand your knowledge, and nurture relationships that support your ascent. Every day presents a choice to remain as you are or to become who you are meant to be. Those who choose growth will experience transformation, opportunity, and fulfillment beyond imagination. Improvement is not an event, it is a lifestyle, a continuous commitment to excellence, and a refusal to settle for anything less than your best. Begin now, for the time to invest in yourself is always today. There will never be a perfect moment, only moments that you make perfect through decisive action, discipline, and relentless pursuit of growth. Recognize that each day is a building block in the architecture of your life, and the quality of these blocks determines the strength, beauty, and longevity of the structure you are creating. Your life will never surpass the limits you impose upon yourself. Break free from mental, emotional, and spiritual constraints that have held you captive. The path of improvement is challenging, but it is also the most rewarding journey you will ever undertake. It demands sacrifice, courage, perseverance, and unwavering commitment. But those who embrace it will discover a depth of potential, a clarity of purpose, and a richness of life that is impossible to attain through comfort, complacency, or inaction. Understand that improving yourself is not selfish. It is a divine responsibility, a stewardship of the gifts, talents, and opportunities you have been entrusted with. To ignore this calling is to squander the potential within you. Do not allow distractions, negativity, or the opinions of others to derail your progress. Your focus must remain sharp, your intentions pure, and your efforts consistent. Life will test you with challenges designed to deter you, but they are also designed to strengthen your resolve, clarify your purpose, and accelerate your growth. Embrace these tests as opportunities for development rather than obstacles to success. Recognize that every step you take toward improving yourself benefits not only you, but also your family, your community, and the generations that follow. Your growth sets a precedent, establishes a standard, and creates a legacy. You are not merely living for yourself, you are shaping the world through the quality of the life you lead and the example you set. Many people fail to reach their potential not because they lack talent opportunity, or resources, but because they are imprisoned by the invisible chains of their own limiting beliefs. These beliefs are the silent dictators of your life, shaping your decisions, actions, and ultimately the trajectory of your destiny without your conscious awareness. They are formed early in life, often through experiences, cultural norms, parental conditioning, and societal expectations, and once embedded, they become the lens through which you perceive reality. Limiting beliefs are the reasons why many people settle for mediocrity when greatness is within their grasp. They whisper lies that convince you that you are not capable, not deserving, or not equipped to pursue the dreams that stir within your heart. These lies are powerful because they feel true, and they create invisible barriers that prevent you from taking action, embracing opportunity, and pursuing your highest potential. The first step in overcoming these limitations is to recognize them. Awareness is the beginning of freedom. And if you do not know what is holding you back, you will never be able to break free. You must examine your life honestly and courageously, asking yourself the hard questions. What are the recurring patterns in my life that prevent success? What fears, doubts, and insecurities dominate my thinking? What stories have I been telling myself about who I am, what I can achieve, and what I deserve? These questions are not easy because confronting your own mental barriers requires honesty, humility, and courage. Many people avoid this work because they fear what they might discover. They are comfortable in their comfort zone, even if that comfort zone is filled with frustration, underachievement, or pain. But comfort is the enemy of progress. And until you shine a light on the beliefs that have kept you trapped, you cannot move forward. Once you have identified a limiting belief, the next step is to challenge it. Beliefs are only as powerful as the attention and energy you give them. When you question the validity of a belief, you begin to weaken its grip. Ask yourself, is this belief based on absolute truth, or is it a perception formed through experience, fear, or opinion? Can I find evidence that contradicts this belief? What would happen if I acted as if this belief were false? By interrogating your assumptions in this way, you start to create space for new possibilities. You begin to realize that most of the limitations you have imposed on yourself are illusions, constructs of your mind that have no real power over your potential. The next phase is replacement. You cannot simply eliminate a limiting belief without replacing it with a new, empowering belief. The mind cannot process a void, and unless you fill the space with truth, optimism, and possibility, the old patterns will resurface. Create affirmations, statements, or convictions that reflect the reality you desire. For example, if you have believed that you are not capable of leadership, replace it with, I have the wisdom, courage, and skill to lead effectively. If you have believed that success is only for others, replace it with, I am deserving of every blessing and opportunity that comes my way. The power of belief is not theoretical, it manifests in action. Once your mind accepts a new empowering belief, your behavior will begin to align with it, creating new results in your life. This process requires repetition, reinforcement, and vigilance. Limiting beliefs are deeply ingrained, often hidden beneath layers of conditioning, and they will resist change. You must guard your mind carefully, monitoring your thoughts, language, and habits to ensure that old patterns do not return. Surround yourself with people, media, and environments that reinforce your new beliefs rather than challenge them. Consistency is key. Transformation is not instantaneous. It is a continuous effort to align your internal reality with the vision of your potential. Another critical factor in eliminating limiting beliefs is the willingness to take risks. Many people cling to limiting beliefs because they provide a sense of safety, predictability, and justification for inaction. They fear failure, rejection, or embarrassment, and so they remain trapped within the narrow confines of their comfort zone. But growth requires stepping into the unknown, embracing challenges, and testing the limits of what you believe is possible. Every step you take outside your comfort zone weakens the power of limiting beliefs, strengthens your confidence, and expands your capacity for achievement. You must also understand the influence of your environment on your beliefs. The people you associate with, the media you consume, and the culture you are immersed in all contribute to the reinforcement of your internal narrative. If you are surrounded by negativity, skepticism, or doubt, it will be much harder to maintain new, empowering beliefs. Seek out mentors, peers, and communities that inspire growth, reinforce possibility, and challenge limitations. The journey of self-discovery and belief transformation is not a solitary one. It requires connection, accountability, and encouragement from those who have already navigated similar challenges. Reflection and journaling are powerful tools in this process. Writing down your thoughts, fears, and beliefs allows you to examine them objectively, identify patterns, and track your progress. It also provides a concrete record of your journey, helping you to see how far you have come and reinforcing the changes you are creating in your mind. Limiting beliefs often manifest as fear, procrastination, or indecision. When you notice these behaviors, view them as signals pointing to the beliefs that need attention. Do not ignore discomfort. It is a guidepost directing you toward the areas of your mind that require renewal. Confront these signals with courage, honesty, and the determination to replace limitation with empowerment. Faith is a vital component in the process of eliminating limiting beliefs. Believing in something greater than yourself, whether it is God, a divine purpose, or the infinite potential of human capacity, provides the strength and perspective needed to challenge the doubts that arise. Faith allows you to see beyond current circumstances, envision what could be, and act with confidence even when the outcome is not yet visible. It transforms uncertainty into opportunity and fear into action. Gratitude also plays a significant role in transformation. When you focus on the blessings, progress, and strengths in your life, you reinforce positive beliefs and weaken the hold of limitation. Gratitude shifts your perspective from scarcity to abundance, from doubt to possibility, and from fear to courage. It is a simple but powerful practice that reinforces the mindset required for continuous growth. Limiting beliefs are often reinforced by past failures or negative experiences, but the past is not a prison, it is a teacher. Use your history as a source of insight rather than justification. Examine what went wrong, extract the lessons, and use them to build new beliefs that propel you forward rather than hold you back. Every experience, no matter how challenging, can be transformed into fuel for growth when interpreted through the lens of learning and possibility. Visualization is another tool that strengthens new beliefs. When you consistently imagine yourself acting from a place of confidence, competence, and success, your mind begins to internalize these images as reality. Visualization creates a mental blueprint that guides your actions, reinforcing the new beliefs you are cultivating. The language you use is also crucial. Words shape thought, and thought shapes reality. Speak in ways that reflect possibility, hope, and empowerment. Avoid self-deprecating or limiting language, and replace it with affirmations and declarations that reinforce your new mental framework. Limiting beliefs often thrive on repetition. So deliberate repetition of empowering thoughts is necessary to override old patterns. Self-discipline is required to maintain this process. The mind will naturally default to familiar patterns of thinking, often pulling you back into limitation. You must be vigilant, persistent, and disciplined in monitoring your thoughts, practicing new beliefs, and acting in ways that align with the life you desire. Every day is an opportunity to reinforce what you want to believe about yourself. Action is the final and most critical component of eliminating limiting beliefs. Belief without action is empty. You must take concrete steps that reflect the new mindset you are cultivating. Every action you take in alignment with your new belief reinforces it, creating a positive feedback loop that strengthens both confidence and competence. The smallest acts of courage, consistency, and persistence compound over time, resulting in transformative change. Finally, understand that the journey of eliminating limiting beliefs is lifelong. The mind is dynamic, and new challenges, experiences, and pressures can introduce new forms of limitation. Stay vigilant, continue learning, maintain faith, practice gratitude, seek mentorship, and take decisive action. The process of identifying and eliminating limiting beliefs is not merely about achieving goals. It is about reclaiming the authority over your life that you were born to exercise. It is about breaking free from the mental barriers that have held you captive, embracing your inherent potential, and walking boldly into the destiny for which you were created. When you commit to this journey, you not only transform your own life, but also inspire others to question their own limitations, seek growth, and pursue excellence. The power to change your life lies not in external circumstances, but in the beliefs you hold about yourself. Choose beliefs that empower, elevate, and liberate you. And watch as your life transforms in ways that once seemed impossible. Limiting beliefs will try to return. Doubt will try to creep in. And fear will attempt to paralyze you. But your conscious commitment, disciplined mind, and faith-driven action will ensure that you rise above, continuously improving and stepping into the fullness of your potential. Do not allow the invisible chains of old beliefs to dictate the trajectory of your life. Recognize them. Challenge them, replace them, reinforce them through action. Surround yourself with positive influences. Practice gratitude. Visualize your success. Speak empowering language and persist with discipline and faith. In doing so, you will break free from limitation, expand your horizons, and live a life that reflects the greatness that has always been within you. Discipline and consistency are the twin pillars upon which every life of purpose and achievement is built. Yet they are often misunderstood, undervalued, or avoided because they demand effort, sacrifice, and unwavering commitment. Many people drift through life expecting success, growth, and blessing to arrive without structure, routine, or steadfast effort. But the truth is that greatness is not accidental. It is intentional. Every individual who has ever accomplished anything meaningful has done so through the disciplined application of time, energy, and focus. Without discipline, potential remains dormant, talent goes untapped, and dreams remain unfulfilled. Without consistency, progress is fleeting, effort is wasted, and the seeds of greatness are sown only to wither before they can bear fruit. Discipline is not punishment or deprivation. It is the conscious decision to do what must be done, even when you do not feel like doing it. It is a commitment to align your actions with your goals, values, and vision, regardless of distractions, temptations, or challenges. Consistency, on the other hand, is the practice of repeating these disciplined actions day after day, week after week, until they become habits, routines, and ultimately a lifestyle. Together, discipline and consistency form the engine of personal transformation, the pathway from potential to performance, and the bridge between dreams and reality. Many people fail to understand that discipline is learned, not inherited. It is not a matter of talent, intelligence, or luck. It is a skill developed through intentional practice, self-control, and perseverance. Discipline begins with small decisions. Choosing to wake up early, to speak words of encouragement rather than complaint, to prioritize actions that align with your long-term vision over short-term pleasure. Each small act of discipline strengthens your capacity for greater acts of self-control. And over time, these choices compound to produce profound results in every area of your life. Consistency amplifies the power of discipline. A single act of effort, no matter how heroic, will not yield lasting results. The human body, mind, and spirit respond to repeated intentional action. A single workout does not build strength. Repeated workouts over weeks and months create fitness. A single study session does not create mastery. Consistent learning over time creates knowledge. A single act of kindness does not build character. Repeated acts over a lifetime shape the soul. Discipline without consistency is like starting a fire without feeding it. It may flare briefly, but will soon die. Consistency without discipline is like walking without direction. Effort is wasted and progress is minimal. To cultivate discipline and consistency, you must first clarify your purpose. Without a clear understanding of why you are doing what you are doing, your efforts will lack motivation and direction. Purpose acts as the anchor that keeps you grounded when challenges arise, distractions tempt you, or fatigue threatens to derail your progress. Purpose provides clarity, urgency, and meaning to your disciplined actions, ensuring that your efforts are not random, but strategically aligned with the life you are called to live. Next, you must develop structure in your daily life. Structure is the framework that allows discipline to flourish. It is the schedule, the routine, and the plan that guides your actions and reduces the influence of chaos, procrastination, and indecision. Without structure, even the most motivated person will drift, become inconsistent, and struggle to maintain progress. Structure does not eliminate freedom. It empowers you to use your time, energy, and resources efficiently, maximizing the return on every effort invested. Self-awareness is another essential component of cultivating discipline. You must know your strengths, weaknesses, triggers, and patterns of behavior. Understanding yourself allows you to design strategies that support consistent action. For example, if you know that you are easily distracted by social media, discipline requires that you create boundaries and systems to minimize this distraction. If you recognize that fatigue undermines your productivity, discipline demands that you prioritize rest, nutrition, and exercise. Consistency is impossible without this kind of intentional self-management. Accountability is equally important. The journey of discipline is rarely easy because it demands resistance against the natural tendencies of the human heart, which often seek comfort, pleasure, and avoidance of discomfort. Surrounding yourself with mentors, coaches, or peers who challenge you, support you, and hold you accountable increases your likelihood of maintaining both discipline and consistency. Accountability creates external reinforcement for internal effort, ensuring that you do not rely solely on willpower, which can fluctuate. Habits are the ultimate expression of discipline and consistency. When you perform disciplined actions consistently over time, they become habits, automatic behaviors that no longer require constant effort or motivation. Habits are the building blocks of a productive, successful, and fulfilling life. They free your mind to focus on higher order tasks, amplify your results, and create momentum in every area of your life. Therefore, your focus should not merely be on occasional bursts of effort, but on the consistent formation of habits that align with your goals and values. Resistance and challenges are inevitable on the path of discipline. Life will test your resolve through adversity, distractions, and fatigue. These tests are not meant to break you. They are meant to strengthen you, refine your character, and deepen your commitment. Discipline is forged in the fire of difficulty, and consistency is proven in the face of repeated obstacles. Those who endure, persist, and maintain their actions despite hardship develop resilience, confidence, and competence. Motivation is fleeting, but discipline endures. Many people rely on motivation to guide their actions, waiting for inspiration, desire, or enthusiasm to strike. However, motivation is unreliable, fluctuating with emotions and circumstances. Discipline, by contrast, does not depend on mood, circumstance, or external validation. It is a choice, a commitment, and a daily practice that produces results regardless of temporary feelings. This is why cultivating discipline is superior to relying solely on motivation. It ensures progress even when motivation is absent. Small, consistent actions accumulate to produce extraordinary outcomes. This principle, often overlooked, is the essence of compounded growth. A single act may seem insignificant, but repeated faithfully over time, it creates momentum, mastery, and transformation. Water dripping on rock may seem powerless, yet over time, it carves valleys. A single word of encouragement repeated daily can transform relationships. A small habit consistently practiced can reshape a life. Discipline and consistency are the engines that turn potential into reality, dreams into accomplishments, and vision into legacy. Patience is essential because results do not manifest immediately. Discipline and consistency require endurance, faith, and long-term commitment. You may not see immediate changes, but every disciplined choice, every repeated effort, and every small action contributes to a larger process that ultimately yields profound transformation. Understanding the power of delayed gratification is central to cultivating discipline. The ability to postpone immediate pleasure in favor of long-term gain is what separates those who achieve lasting success from those who remain trapped in cycles of short-term indulgence. Discipline is the conscious practice of prioritizing what matters most over what feels good in the moment. And consistency ensures that this practice becomes ingrained in your life. Self-discipline and consistency also require emotional mastery. Emotions, if left unchecked, can undermine even the most disciplined person. Anger, fear, frustration, or discouragement can derail progress, but the disciplined individual learns to recognize, manage, and channel emotions productively. Emotional mastery allows you to maintain consistent action despite internal or external turbulence. Vision provides the fuel for discipline and consistency. A clear, compelling vision of the life you desire motivates you to endure the sacrifices and persist through challenges. Vision aligns your actions with purpose, ensuring that discipline is not arbitrary but directed toward meaningful outcomes. Without vision, discipline becomes mechanical, uninspired, and unsustainable. Reflection and evaluation are also crucial. Consistency does not mean mindless repetition. It requires regular assessment of your actions, strategies, and outcomes. Reflection allows you to identify what works, adjust what does not, and continually refine your approach to ensure maximum effectiveness. Discipline without reflection can become rigid, while consistency without evaluation can become ineffective. In addition, cultivating discipline and consistency requires managing your environment. Your surroundings, resources, and influences impact your ability to maintain focus and effort. Remove distractions, create supportive systems, and surround yourself with people who reinforce your commitment. Environmental alignment amplifies both discipline and consistency, making the path to growth smoother and more sustainable. Spiritual discipline is also a foundational aspect of life improvement. Prayer, meditation, study of scripture, and alignment with divine principles provide guidance, strength, and perspective. Spiritual discipline nurtures character, strengthens resolve, and reinforces the purpose behind every effort. Consistency in spiritual practices provides clarity, peace, and direction, allowing all other forms of discipline to flourish. Accountability, mentorship, and community support cannot be overstated. No one achieves excellence in isolation. Relationships with those who challenge, encourage, and inspire you create an external reinforcement system that makes disciplined behavior and consistent action more achievable and sustainable. Rewards and recognition are secondary but important. Discipline is not about seeking immediate gratification or praise, but acknowledging progress, celebrating milestones, and recognizing achievement reinforces motivation and reinforces the positive feedback loop of effort and results. Discipline and consistency are not limited to work or productivity. They extend to character development, relationships, health, and every facet of life. A life of integrity, kindness, humility, and generosity requires consistent choices aligned with values and principles. Spiritual, mental, and emotional growth all demand disciplined action repeated over time. Consistency builds trust, credibility, and reliability. Those who practice what they preach, who maintain their commitments, and who follow through with their responsibilities earn respect, influence, and authority. Discipline is the invisible force that ensures consistency, and together they create reputations, relationships, and legacies that endure beyond a lifetime. Time management is a key skill in this journey. Discipline requires that you prioritize effectively, allocate resources wisely, and focus on high-value activities. Consistency ensures that these priorities are executed daily, week after week, creating momentum toward long-term goals. Without these skills, effort is scattered, progress is slowed, and potential remains unfulfilled. Discipline and consistency also cultivate resilience. Life is unpredictable and challenges are inevitable. Those who have trained themselves to act intentionally, persistently, and faithfully in the face of adversity develop the inner strength to overcome obstacles, recover from setbacks, and continue pursuing their vision. Every trial becomes an opportunity to reinforce discipline habits and deepen consistency. Gratitude and perspective enhance this journey. Recognizing progress, acknowledging blessings, and maintaining a positive outlook provide the emotional fuel needed to persist in disciplined action. Gratitude reinforces focus, reduces distraction, and strengthens resolve, making consistency easier to maintain. Ultimately, the cultivation of discipline and consistency is a spiritual, mental, and practical mandate for anyone who desires to live a life of significance. It is through these principles that potential is unlocked, character is strengthened, and destiny is fulfilled. Every person has a finite amount of time, energy, and opportunity, and those who master discipline and practice consistency will maximize their impact, fulfill their purpose, and leave a legacy that endures. There will always be distractions, temptations, and excuses, but the disciplined and consistent person rises above them. They act when others hesitate, persist when others quit, and achieve when others settle. Their lives reflect the power of intentional action, repeated faithfully over time, and the cumulative effect of countless small choices that align with their vision, purpose, and values. Remember that discipline is not a burden, but a pathway to freedom. Consistency is not monotony, but a source of momentum. Together, they form the foundation for personal excellence, achievement, and fulfillment. The journey is demanding, but the reward is extraordinary. Those who cultivate discipline and practice consistency will experience transformation in every area of life, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, relationally, and professionally. They will become individuals of influence, integrity, and impact, leaving a mark on the world that will endure long after their time has passed. Begin today. Commit to disciplined action. Repeat it consistently and watch as your life is transformed, step by step, day by day, into the fullness of the destiny you were created to fulfill. The ultimate measure of personal growth is not how much you accumulate, achieve for yourself, but how much you contribute, uplift, and serve others as you rise. Many people chase success, power, and recognition, believing that life is about self-fulfillment. Yet the Bible, wisdom literature, and the lives of the great men and women of history all teach the same principle. True greatness is found in service. When you focus solely on yourself, your growth is limited, your impact is restricted, and your life risks becoming hollow, regardless of material or professional accomplishments. Serving others is not a detour from your path to success. It is the highway on which true success travels. Serving is a reflection of the maturity, wisdom, and character you develop as you grow. When you grow in skill, knowledge, and understanding, you are entrusted with resources, time, talent, influence, and wisdom, and the highest calling is to use these not only for personal gain, but to enrich the lives of others. The measure of a life well lived is the lives touched, the hearts healed, and the opportunities created for others along the way. Service is a natural extension of personal growth because it demonstrates the application of knowledge, discipline, and vision in a way that transcends selfish ambition. Those who grow in isolation, hoarding their talents and gifts, stagnate spiritually, emotionally, and socially, but those who serve others as they grow experience multiplication, favor, and lasting fulfillment. True service begins with awareness. You must be attentive to the needs of those around you, sensitive to opportunities to make a positive difference, and proactive in seeking ways to contribute. Awareness transforms ordinary interactions into extraordinary opportunities for impact. The smallest act of kindness, encouragement, or mentorship can have profound effects, far beyond what you can immediately perceive. Service also requires humility. Growth can easily lead to pride, entitlement, or self-centeredness, but humility keeps your heart aligned with purpose. When you serve, you acknowledge that the world does not revolve around you alone, that your success is linked to the well-being of others, and that your talents are entrusted to you for a higher purpose. Humility allows you to approach service with sincerity, empathy, and genuine love, which magnifies its impact. Leadership is inseparable from service. The most effective leaders are those who lead by example, invest in the development of others, and prioritize the success of their teams over personal acclaim. As you grow, your capacity to lead and influence expands, and your responsibility to serve increases proportionally. Leadership without service is exploitation. Service without growth is unsustainable. Together, they create a legacy that endures beyond your lifetime. Serving others also enhances your own growth. By investing in the lives of others, you develop empathy, wisdom, patience, and perspective. You encounter challenges that refine your character, solve problems that strengthen your creativity, and teach lessons that no textbook or seminar can provide. Every person you serve becomes a mirror, reflecting areas in which you can improve, stretch, and mature. This reciprocal relationship between personal growth and service accelerates development, multiplies impact, and creates exponential influence. Generosity is a key component of serving others. True generosity is not limited to material resources. It includes your time, energy, knowledge, encouragement, and mentorship. When you share what you have, you demonstrate faith in abundance rather than scarcity, understanding that the universe, God, or life rewards a generous spirit. Generosity multiplies your influence and creates ripples that extend far beyond the immediate moment, shaping communities, institutions, and nations. Service requires vision. You cannot serve effectively without understanding the larger context of your actions, the long-term impact on others, and the alignment with your values and purpose. Vision allows you to serve strategically, prioritizing actions that yield the greatest benefit, empower others, and advance the cause of collective growth. Without vision, service may become reactive, scattered, or unsustainable. Commitment is essential. Serving others is not a one-time act. It is a lifelong practice that requires dedication, persistence, and sacrifice. You will encounter fatigue, resistance, and discouragement, yet the disciplined and consistent servant perseveres, understanding that the reward of service is measured not solely in immediate results, but in lasting impact, transformation, and legacy. Integrity is indispensable in service. People are perceptive. They detect insincerity, ulterior motives, or half-hearted effort. Serving with integrity, transparency, and authenticity builds trust, strengthens relationships, and creates influence that endures. Integrity ensures that your service is a reflection of your character, not a means of self-promotion or manipulation. Teaching and mentoring are forms of service that create exponential growth. By investing in the education, guidance, and development of others, you extend your influence far beyond your own actions. Mentorship multiplies potential, transfers wisdom, and equips others to rise to their own capacity, creating a chain reaction of growth and empowerment. Listening is a vital aspect of service. To serve effectively, you must understand the needs, desires, and struggles of those around you. Listening requires empathy, patience, and attention. It allows you to respond meaningfully rather than react superficially, ensuring that your actions address real needs and create genuine transformation. Sacrifice is inherent in meaningful service. To serve effectively, you must often give up personal comfort, convenience, or immediate gratification. Sacrifice demonstrates commitment, love, and seriousness of purpose. It distinguishes between superficial acts of generosity and true service that leaves a lasting mark. Accountability enhances the quality of your service. Just as personal growth requires feedback, reflection, and mentorship, service requires monitoring, evaluation, and responsiveness. By being accountable, you ensure that your contributions are effective, relevant, and impactful, and that you continuously refine your approach to maximize benefit. Gratitude is intertwined with service. Those who serve recognize that they are privileged to have resources, opportunities, and abilities to share. Gratitude deepens humility, reinforces purpose, and fuels further action. It transforms service from obligation into joy, from duty into opportunity, and from action into legacy. Spiritual alignment is essential. Serving others is not only a moral responsibility, but a spiritual mandate. Prayer, discernment, and alignment with divine principles guide your actions, ensuring that your service is purposeful, ethical, and effective. Spiritual guidance helps you navigate challenges, respond wisely, and maximize impact in ways that human effort alone cannot achieve. Courage is required. Service often demands stepping into uncomfortable situations, confronting injustice, or addressing needs that others avoid. Courage allows you to act decisively, lead boldly, and serve faithfully despite fear, criticism, or resistance. Service transforms society, and courage is the catalyst that enables transformation to occur. Patience is also critical. Impact is not always immediate. People grow at their own pace, communities develop over time, and change often comes slowly. Patience allows you to remain committed, consistent, and effective, understanding that the seeds you plant today may take years to bear fruit. Reflection ensures that your service is aligned with purpose and continuously improving. By evaluating your efforts, learning from successes and failures, and adjusting strategies, you maximize the effectiveness of your contribution. Reflection prevents burnout, promotes growth, and ensures that service remains meaningful rather than mechanical. Empathy connects you to those you serve. Understanding their perspectives, challenges, and aspirations allows you to act in ways that are truly helpful, relevant, and empowering. Empathy transforms service from charity into empowerment, creating long-lasting positive effects. Collaboration amplifies impact. Working with others who share your vision, values, and commitment multiplies the results of your efforts. Collective action enables larger projects, broader influence, and more sustainable transformation. Serve in partnership, leveraging the strengths of others while maintaining integrity and purpose. Visionary service leaves a legacy. When you invest in the lives of others, mentor the next generation, and contribute to the betterment of your community, you create a ripple effect that continues long after you are gone. Legacy is the ultimate expression of a life well lived. It is the impact that transcends time, influencing future generations, institutions, and society at large. Excellence enhances service. Serve not only with willingness, but with competence, skill, and dedication. Strive to do your best in every act of service, demonstrating that those you serve are worthy of your highest effort. Excellence ensures that your contributions are effective, respected, and transformative. Service transforms the server as much as the served. When you commit to helping others, you develop character, deepen compassion, refine leadership skills, and cultivate wisdom. The act of serving stretches your capacities, challenges your limitations, and enhances your understanding of human nature, purpose, and destiny. Faith drives service. Trusting that your efforts, guided by wisdom and principle, will bear fruit motivates you to continue even when results are not immediately visible. Faith sustains persistence, guides decisions, and strengthens resilience in the face of challenges, ensuring that service is consistent, meaningful, and enduring. Every life you touch, every heart you encourage, and every opportunity you create is a reflection of your own growth. Service is the practical application of all you have learned, all you have overcome, and all you have become. It is the demonstration that personal growth is not meant for selfish accumulation, but for the elevation of humanity, the building of community, and the fulfillment of purpose. True greatness, therefore, is inseparable from service. The world measures success by wealth, status, or influence, but God measures success by impact, love, and contribution. A life dedicated to serving others while growing personally is a life of significance, a life that multiplies blessings, a life that leaves a mark on eternity itself. And so, as you grow, do not forget those who walk beside you, those who struggle while you flourish, and those who can rise because you lift them. Make service your standard, your measure, and your mission. Let generosity, humility, and compassion guide your every step. Empower others with your wisdom, inspire them with your example, and invest in their potential as passionately as you pursue your own. For when you serve as you grow, you unlock a power far greater than achievement, a joy far deeper than success, and a legacy far richer than wealth. You become the kind of person who not only reaches your destiny, but helps others reach theirs. You become a vessel of change, a light in the darkness, and a blessing that multiplies beyond measure. Remember this: the life you save, the heart you heal, and the opportunity you create may one day return to you 1,000-fold. The universe honors the servant, and destiny favors those who lift others as they rise. Therefore, commit today to grow in every area of your life, and with equal passion, commit to serving those around you. Let every accomplishment, skill, and victory be a tool for impact. Let your life be a testament to the truth that personal growth finds its highest expression in the service of others. And as you walk this path, you will discover a joy, fulfillment, and influence that transcends ambition, surpasses achievement, and echoes into eternity. For the greatest among you will always be the one who serves. Your life, your gifts, and your growth are not yours alone. They are instruments for blessing the world, igniting hope, and leaving a legacy that speaks long after your voice is silent and your journey on this earth is complete. Serve, grow, and watch the impossible become possible through the power of intentional action, unwavering faith, and a heart committed to the service of humanity. The world is waiting for you to rise, to give, and to transform. And when you do, you will leave behind a mark so profound that time itself cannot erase it.